Hello everyone, my name is Kyona Levine Farmer. Welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to show you all how I built our amazing fireplace built out. The first thing I would suggest is to determine how wide you want your fireplace built out wall to be. Then choose and purchase your fireplace. The way that my husband and I decided to do this was by figuring out how much space on each side of the TV we wanted, and then we had to decide how wide of a fireplace we wanted. For us, symmetry was important, so we put the measurements for the fireplace on the wall using painter's tape, and we were able to make the decision to go with the 70-inch fireplace based off of the look that we wanted. Once we did all the measurements on the wall, we discovered that our TV was not centered, so we fixed that later. If you notice, we have a vent at the top of our ceiling, so it was also important that I measure the depth of the built out correctly so that the built out would not cover the vent. The next thing I did was I added 2x6 boards to the wall. I made sure to place these boards on studs. This would serve as the base of the fireplace built out. Everything that I built out after this, I would nail to these boards. And I needed 2x6s because they are stronger than 2x4s. And our TV is super heavy, so we needed a strong base to hold the TV up. We would eventually have to take the TV bracket down and add it to the 2x6 boards just so that the TV wouldn't fall down. But these boards were nailed onto the back of the wall, and everything else will be nailed onto these boards. Next, I built the left and right sides of the wall with 2x4-inch boards. I laid the boards out on the floor, made sure that they were cut to the length that I needed from floor to ceiling. Then I added and connected the smaller pieces of 2x4s to create tall rectangles. After I made the tall rectangles, I connected them to the base or the 2x6 boards on the wall and made sure that they will level using a leveler, and again this created the sides of the built out. The next thing I did was I built the front of the frame. I used 2x4s to do this. What I did was I laid it out on the floor and I did the measurements for the fireplace as well as for the TV. I even put the fireplace inside the frame as I was building it so that I can accurately put the boards around it, and this would serve as the front of the fireplace built out. On the right hand side of the screen, you'll see those tall rectangular shapes that I used for the side of the built out. I put them on the floor with the front of the frame so that I can get the measurements correct because I kept messing up. Here's an illustration of all the 2x4s that I added to the front of the frame, which helped to give the front of the frame more support as well as give me something to nail the drywall onto. Then my husband, Vince, helped me to hoist this big frame to the front of the two side pieces, and I nailed them all together. I'm so excited. It worked, it worked, it worked. The next thing I did was I added drywall, and this actually wasn't as difficult as it seemed to me at the beginning. Like the cutting of the drywall was just done with a straight razor. The silver thing that you see there is called a corner bead. It makes the edge of what you're doing, it makes it a crisp straight line, and those are little metal things that I put on all of the outside edges to give me that crisp straight look. You will see in a few minutes how the corner bead made such a difference in the side corner pieces here. But I also added spackling to the wall, and that is the white material that you put on top of the drywall and the corner bead after you're done. There's definitely a method to this, so please watch as many videos as you can, as it seems easy, but if you put too much, it's going to make a huge mess because you have to sand it. So I guess what I learned was that the least amount of spackling you need to put on it, the better, and you won't have to sand so much when you're done. So once the drywall was nailed to the framing and then the spackling was placed on top of the drywall, it was starting to look amazing. The blue tape that you see on the side there, I made sure to put there so that I would know where the studs were when I added the drywall nails. So I would be nailing it to the frame and not to the spaces in between the frame, but it started to look beautiful. After I finished spackling, I used caulking to fill the spaces between the built out and the original wall. The caulking is what made the wall look like it was built with the house. It just fills in any spaces in between the new wall. I also put a light coat of white paint to preview my progress, and it was looking amazing. The built out was looking amazing, but I felt like it needed a bit more. So I knew I wanted a mantle and I had to think about the style that I was going for. I decided that I was going for a very modern, sophisticated luxe art gallery look. So I decided to add a bottom floating shelf. My husband had the idea that since we had leftover flooring that we could add ceramic floor tiles to the top of the floating shelf. So I researched how to cut and install ceramic floor tiles, and we were able to get it done. It was actually not that difficult, and it just made such a difference to the final look of the project. It was really, really pretty. And so here is our final reveal. I painted the wall all white. We hired an electrician to come out and install recessed lighting and some sconces. I dressed the floating shelf with some spherical planters from Crate and Barrel. I had my Joe Malone candles, some books, and some beads, and it was a wrap. The cord that you see hanging there is from our sound bar. I hung it up crooked, so I'll have to redo it. But other than that, we loved how it turned out. So luxe and so gorgeous. And so that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.